So we have two choices. We can never be satisfied, really just never be satisfied, and always be looking for more, never satisfied with what is. This isn't right, this isn't enough. Or you can just be satisfied all along the way. Satisfaction, experiencing satisfaction with something does not mean you stop asking for more. You can't stop asking for more. The thing is, you don't have to ask. Life experience causes you to ask, whether or not you're even conscious of it. It's full of contrast, amazing that way, and contrast causes you to ask. It's an asking that takes place internally. It's an asking that happens in your heart. The second that you experience the situation of contrast, you have asked for something. You have defined your desires, clarified what it is that you want a little more, and the universe has received that. You don't have to deliberately ask for it. You already have. So your only role in that moment is to recognize, I'm in some contrast. Contrast has caused me to ask. The ask has already happened. Now I get to just sit and appreciate. I get to be satisfied with what is. I get to be satisfied that I have just expanded, that my desires have just gained clarity. I don't even have to know. In fact, a lot of times I don't want to know exactly what sort of clarity I've gained. I want to be surprised and delighted in the reception of that thing when it shows up for me, because it can and it will. Absolutely, it will. So we have this choice. A lot of people seem to think that if they embrace satisfaction, that means that they have given up. That means that they have lowered their standards. That means that they're no longer going after what it is that they really want. That's not true at all. And if you are of that mind, of that belief, then you will never be satisfied. Never, ever, ever. Not even when the thing that you asked for shows up. Because you'll still be looking for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and you'll never be in the now. You'll never be in the only place that actually exists, the only place where your good feeling actually exists, because again, it doesn't come from that thing that you think that it comes from. It's a wonderful thing to experience preference and the expansion of our desire, what we want to experience in this physical incarnation, but that is not where good feeling comes from. It's fun, it's exciting, yeah, and that's what creation is fun. But it's not that which is created that brings us joy. It is the process of creation. And that is happening all of the time. And being tapped into that is where good feeling comes from. Holding that same perspective, it's all the same thing. Being present, being in alignment, having balanced energy, non-resistant, all the same thing. Absolutely the same thing. It just means that you are in alignment with, you are one with, you have merged your perspective, which is what you are. You are conscious awareness. You are that which is perceiving. You have merged that which is focused in this physical realm with the rest of you and how the rest of you is perceiving. And the rest of you is always delighted with everything that is. It's delighted because it is. Not because of what it is. It doesn't care what it is. Yes, it's excited again to see the development of it, to see how it changes and flows and grows. Absolutely. That's exciting. That's fun. But that's not where the good feeling comes from. The rest of you is focused on the process of creation and loving every second of it, loving every step of it, loving the contrast, perhaps more, but at least as much as where the contrast leads you to expand to. So you have a choice. And it's a pretty easy one, ultimately. It's just one that takes focus and conscious awareness and the deliberate making of this choice in this direction. You have the choice to feel satisfied right now with what is or not. And recognize that feeling satisfied does not stop what is from changing. It doesn't mean you've given up some sort of goal, although really give up all your goals because they mean nothing. Because there is not what you think there is in the achieving of that goal. But when you give up, when you realize that all of the satisfaction is right here and now and that you don't need anything to change, then everything is free to. easily, magically, deliciously, and it does. When you stop resisting this present moment as it is, and you accept it and you are satisfied in it, recognizing its completion and its perfection, then A, you no longer need anything to feel good, and B, because you no longer need anything, you are no longer restricting and constricting the flow of energy, and it's all free to move easily, and you feel free within it. You feel the free flowing nature of yourself. You feel easygoing. You feel relaxed and taken care of and provided for in a deeper way, a way that is so far beyond anything in the mental realm. You are physically provided for. You will find that, yes, every part of you is taken care of. But you recognize that in a much deeper way, you have perfect provision. And that's where the satisfaction is. As Abraham Hicks has said, the universe is not your mother. The universe is not your boss. And we're talking in human terms. We are used to, in these human relationships, what happens when we express satisfaction. People stop paying attention, right? They say, oh, okay, then you're good right here and you don't ever need anything more or anything different. We've been trained by human relationships to fear satisfaction. So of course, when we're afraid of the thing that we want, we're not actually letting ourselves have it. We're not actually letting ourselves have the satisfaction that we desire because we're afraid of it. We're afraid of what it means: stagnancy, complacency. That's what we equate satisfaction to. Oh no, if I just am happy forever, if I'm just satisfied forever, then I'll just stay the same. That's what the mind is afraid of. And of course, there would be nothing wrong with that either. So what if you were happy and everything stayed the same? So what? Isn't the satisfaction, the joy, all we're after anyway? If you just let yourself have that now, it would cease to matter what changed and didn't change. And of course, everything does change because this is the world of form. When the wave rises, it must fall. That's how things happen here. That's how creation works. But when you are satisfied with the wave, no matter what that wave looks like, no matter what position you are in, then it doesn't matter. You have satisfaction all along the way. You have satisfaction moving up and moving down and at the peak and at the trough. And the size of the wave, the color, the shape, none of it matters. All of it is pleasing to you. And you know that it will only become more pleasing to you. So you have this choice to be never satisfied or to see everything as good getting better all the time. Because that's really what it is. Everything all the time is good getting better. That's how evolution works. That's what progress is. That's how the universe does this whole amazing thing. It's always good getting better. And so your satisfaction in this moment is not preventing it from getting better. It's just enabling you to experience the betterness as it's happening. And of course, your dissatisfaction in this moment is not preventing it from getting better either, but it is stopping you from experiencing the betterness. It's preventing you from seeing, from realizing, and it is your perception that allows your experience of satisfaction. And choosing to be dissatisfied with what is, really choosing to align with the mental position of dissatisfaction, because that's allowed. You can have that in the brain. Just don't align with it. Just recognize that that's not you. That's the mind, and it's allowed to be the mind. The mind will always be dissatisfied. You can accept that also. So stop aligning with the mind that is forever dissatisfied and find within yourself the perspective of your true awareness, your true being, that sees everything is as it should be. Good, great, amazing, getting better. Always getting better. You don't have to love what is in the contrast, but you can love that it's contrast and that it is causing you to ask and to create more. And you can trust in that moment that you are asking for, and on the way to you are things that feel really wonderful. But again, that's not where the satisfaction comes from. The satisfaction comes from the realization in that moment of what you've just done. You've just created more. Now you are in the middle of the process of creation, and you are feeling good, not for what you have created, but because you are creating. And you are always creating. Get really, really satisfied with what is. Start seeing that it is perfect, that it is only ever the best thing, that it is only ever the getting better thing. You can be forever dissatisfied by aligning with the mind, which is forever dissatisfied. Or you can align with the truth of yourself, your being, pure awareness, that is loving creation every second. And as creation is eternal, it is eternally overjoyed with what is. You can be never satisfied or eternally satisfied. There is no in between. We only ever flip-flop because we get confused about who we are, and we start aligning again with the mental self, the egoic mind. That's okay too, not a problem. You can always come back to the truth of you by recognizing, I've done it again. I've aligned with the mind that is never satisfied, and so now that feels like me and my dissatisfaction, but actually what I am is very satisfied, even with this moment, even with my diversion from my true awareness and perspective. It's satisfied with that. It has no problem with that. It's applauding that. And then I'm right back in my perpetual satisfaction, and I can feel that it has never moved. I can feel in this place that it has never changed, that what I truly am has not for one instant ever been dissatisfied. And in all of my perpetual satisfaction, evolution has taken place, great expansion. In all of my satisfaction, I have allowed everything to be good, getting better all the time. And that is how creation works. And that is what we are intended to experience. That is our choice. It is a choice every moment. You can't go wrong, because even when you choose differently, you're just adding more to the creation, and you can always make the choice. You are always free to decide to come back into alignment, into awareness with yourself and the perfection and completion of this present moment, which is only always good, getting better.